Lost quotes. Nobody feels great about it, or do they feel great about it? I'm glad we lost that job. I didn't want to work with those people. Do you do an inventory of the reasons why you lose quotes in your business? Businesses often refer to the volume of quotes, so it might be the number of quotes or the dollar value of the quotes. And then they talk about the conversion rate are on the same parameters. But do they dig any deeper than that? With the market becoming more and more challenging, one of the questions I'm asking people is, do you break down the reasons why you lose a quote? Don't try to get too cute with the reasons why you would lose a quote. I like to break them down into 3 broad categories. Firstly, price. Second, differentiation. And third, lead times. So a key thing here is to ask your sales team to find this information out where they can. Sometimes it might not be practical, and yes, I would rather get some information than no information. So don't feel like you have to get it for every quote if that's not practical. But if it is, try to get it for as many as you possibly can. The first factor is price, and it's probably the one we think of the most. I quote somebody $10, somebody else quotes $9, and voila, the person goes for the one that is the $9. What do we need to look at if we're losing a lot of quotes on price? Well, firstly, we need to look at our conversion rate. We need to look at what our gross profit is, and we need to look at what our break even is. These are the factors that come into it, because you could have a really awesome business where you're losing 8 out of 10 quotes. But because you charge a premium price and people understand that, it converts to really good financial outcomes. If you're winning a lot of quotes due to price, I wonder what impact that's having to your gross profit. So again, even though we didn't lose the quote, we gained the quote, you can find out the reasons why you won the work. Ideally, you don't want to win work on price. Secondly, there's what I call differentiation. Were you able to differentiate yourself from your competitors when quoting, or weren't there any competitors at all? You were just such a standout opportunity to work with for that client that you now work with who accepted that quote. Is there a way that you can make your product or service more engaging, a better outcome for your clients, giving them more value or more perceived value? So what's the reason why we might have lost the quote, and the same reason why we might have gained the quote? Were we able to differentiate ourselves somehow in comparison to the competition? And the last factor is lead times. Were we able to deliver the product or outcome quicker than anybody else? This is really powerful because often lead times are a direct result of investing more capital into things like stock or work in progress. But if we can get more sales volume through our business, that extra stock or work in progress can quickly be offset by the additional sales we generate. So are the reasons we're losing because we weren't able to provide the lead times in the time frame that was needed by the client or reasonably expected by the client? If you're facing this trouble or this challenge, it might be a conversation around investing more in working capital, or do we need to invest more in people? Or is it the type of work we don't necessarily want to do? You might already be loaded up on the stuff you really, really want to do and not put the resources into other areas that you don't believe are as profit driven as well. Therefore, the key thing is take that learning as to why you won a quote or lost a quote and distribute that information to all the relevant people within your business to either take advantage of opportunities or mitigate the risks or weaknesses in your business.